Hello everyone, we are from Biology Education Major, Faculty of Teachery and Education from West Sulawesi University. We want to explain what is the biology. I am Litami Fitra and I am the first speaker. Let's start. The word biology is derived from the Greek words bios meaning life and logos meaning study. Biology is the study of life and living organisms. For as long as people have looked at the world around them, people have studied biology. Even in the days before recorded history, people knew and passed on information about plants and animals. Modern biology really began in the 17th century. At the time, Anton van Leeuwenhoek in Holland invented the microscope and William Harvey in England described the circulation of blood. The microscope allowed scientists to discover bacteria, leading to an understanding of the causes of disease, while new knowledge about how the human body works allowed others to find more effective ways of treating illnesses. All this new knowledge needed to be put into order, and in the 18th century, the Swedish scientist Carl Linnaeus classified all living things into the biological families we know and use today. In the middle of the 19th century, unnoticed by anyone else, the Austrian monk George Mendel created his laws and inheritance, beginning the study of genetics that is such an important part of biology today. At the same time, while traveling around the world, Charles Darwin was formulating the central principle of modern biology, natural selection, and the basis of evolution. It's hard to believe, but the nature of viruses has become apparent only within the last half of the 19th century, and the first step on this path of discovery was taken by the Russian botanist Dmitry Ivanovsky. In the 20th century, biologists began to recognize how plants and animals live and pass on their genetically coded information to the next generation. Since then, partly because of developments in computer technology, there have been great advances in the field of biology. It's an area of ever-growing knowledge.
Hello, my name is Nurul Amita, second speaker, Group 3.
During the past 500 years, biology has changed from concentrating on the structure of living organisms to looking more at how the world of function. Over this time, biology has discovered much about health and disease, about the genes which control the activities of your body and how humans can control the lives of other organisms. We need to understand how our activities affect the environment, how humans can take responsibility for their own health and welfare, and how we must be careful to make appropriate rules for the use of genetic information. Nowadays, biology are making fantastic discoveries which will affect your lives. These discoveries have given you the power to save your own evolution and to determine the type of world we will live in. Research advances, especially in genetic engineering, have dramatically affected agriculture, medicine, veterinary science, and industry. And new world has been revolutionized by modern development in ecology. There has never been a more exciting nor a more important time to study biology. Biology is the scientific study of life. Although they have failed to provide a universal scientific definition, most scientists agree that a living thing shares certain basic characteristics. Living things are made of organic structure, living things reproduce, living things grow and develop, living things feed, living things respire, living things extract and waste, living things respond to their surroundings, living things move, living things control their internal condition, living things are evolution. Non-living systems may show some of the characteristics of living things, but life is the combination of all these characteristics.
My name is Arwini. I am the third speaker. I am explain the materials about organization, reproduction, growth and development, feeding, replication, and aggression. Thank you.
In 1775, Carolus Linnaeus published the first edition of System Naturae and the System of Nature, a small pamphlet explaining the new system of classification of nature. Two of Carolus Linnaeus' most important contributions to taxonomy are: one, heterogeneous classification system, and two, binomial nomenclature system. Organization. All these are made of chemicals, but in living things the chemicals are packaged into highly organized structures. The basic structure of life is cell. Cells, the simple surface contains many organocells. The theory of autophagy. Reproduction is the ability to produce other individuals of the same species. It may be asexual or asexual. Reproduction involves the replication of DNA. Growth and development. All organisms must grow and develop to reach the size and level of complexity versus uncomplexity their life cells. Growth is a relatively permanent growth in size of an organism. It is brought about by taking in substances from the environment and incorporating them into the internal structure of the organism. Feeding. Living things are continually transforming one form of energy into another to stay alive. Allotted energy is not destroyed during these transformations. Heat is always formed. Heat is a form of energy which cannot be used to drive biological processes, so it is sometimes regarded as wasted energy. Respiration. The energy released during the breathing is used to make ATP, a nitrogen triphosphate, in a process called respiration. Aggregation. The energy transformation takes place in an organism involves chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is occurred in organisms.
Hi friends, introduce my name is Sira Omar from Biology Class D. Respiration. Living things need energy to stay alive and to the world. Also food contains energy. This is not in a directly usable form. It has to be broken down. The energy released during the breakdown is used to make ATP, adenosine triphosphate, in a process called respiration. ATP is an energy molecule and is the only one that can be used directly to drive metabolic reaction in a living organism. Excretion. The energy transformation that takes place in an organism involve chemical reaction. Chemical reactions that occur in organisms are called metabolic reaction. Responsiveness. Living things are sensitive to care and change in their environment stimuli and respond in ways that tend to improve their gain of survival. The degree of responsiveness depends on an organism's complexity. A bacterium may be limited to simple responses, such as moving toward favorable stimuli or away from harmful ones. People can make highly sophisticated responses to a wide variety of stimuli, which they may perceive either directly or with the aid of technology devices. Movement. Responses usually involve some form of movement. Movement of all organisms from one place to another is called locomotion. Planes in another organism that are fixed in one place do not display locomotion, but they can move far off their bodies. Movement of living things differ from those of non-living things by being active. Energy requiring processes arising from within cells. Homeostasis. Living things are to some extent able to control their internal conditions so that their cells have a constant chemical and physical environment in which they can function effectively. The regulation and maintenance of a relatively constant set of conditions within an organism is called its homeostasis. Homeostasis is a feature of a living system. From a single cell to a whole biosphere, a differ of air containing life. Evolution. Living things are able to change into new form of life. This evolution usually takes place gradually over successive generations